welcome to another episode of Golden Nuggets, Tea and Tales, Season 2, powered by Husby, served by Stephen Leckie. Stephen, kudos to you. You're really doing social media right, in my opinion. I do enjoy your posts, I do enjoy your consistency, and I do enjoy following you. And I want to know from your side, how has social media impacted your career, your results, your performance, both positively and negatively?
So, thank you very much. I'm actually, I know people say this, I'm quite humbled by it, but I can tell you it's really odd. I have a personal trainer, and I was talking to him this morning in the gym. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do. I go to the gym quite regularly. And I was going,
it was the look that you gave me that was like, I have a personal trainer. Yeah. I go to regularly.
No, I do. Anyway, so, and I need the personal trainer because, and I said to him halfway through today, he says, I don't enjoy this, don't you? And he said, what do you mean? I said, I just don't enjoy it. I do what you tell me to do. But tomorrow, if someone asked me, what did we do in the gym this morning? I wouldn't be able to tell you because all I do is go through the motions. Mm-hmm. And that's a bit like social media for me. I'll tell you what it was. Quite a few years ago, I went to this sort of, what do you call it? When you, it's like a class. It wasn't really a class.
Master class?
No, it's that kind of thing, yes. Guy called Daniel Garofoli. He's quite big on social media, German guy. Lovely guy. Anyway, Daniel had this sort of seminar type thing at a restaurant in downtown, and we all sat there, and he talked to us about you really need to get on social media, and this is what you need to do, etc., etc. So we all did that, and we all went, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago, and I walked away, I'm going to do this. Didn't do it. Okay, I opened up an Instagram account, and I just put personal stuff, and now I've actually got that private, and only my family can see it, but nevertheless, and I was at, funny enough, a launch for developers, and this guy came up to me and he says, I know who you are. I've seen you on a podcast with someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He says, I'm a social media guy, and I think you'd be really good. And I went, I've been thinking about it for years. I really should do it. And this was February, so I've only been doing it less than a year.
Okay.
Yeah. And they sort of got me in this boardroom and talked about strategy and all this. I said, look, just tell me what I've got to do, and I'll turn up and do it. And that's what I do. I go to a studio, and a bit like this, and they ask me a load of questions. I get interviewed, and I ask a load of questions, answer the questions, etc. And I just talk. And I think I'm getting better at it. I was really bad at the beginning. I got quite shy and everything. My personality is I want everything to be perfect. Yeah. So if I think that there's any chance that this is not going to be perfect,
don't want to do it.
I don't really want to do it, or I fall to pieces. Fall to pieces, but I get all sort of tongue-tied, etc. Really good. I'm getting better in meetings. I talk about the company meetings, etc. I do speak up occasionally. I regret it sometimes because I say the wrong thing. I say things for a joke. That nervous sort of comments. But social media.
Have you closed any really big sales or got some really good clients off the back of it?
I'm a TikToker.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm big
more
on TikTok.
Than Instagram.
I'm Instagram and TikTok. I've got more followers on Instagram, and but I've got quite a lot on TikTok, and I laugh about it because I've actually sold quite a few properties for people on TikTok. In fact, I've got a meeting after this with quite a well-known footballer
who found you on TikTok.
Found me on TikTok. I just do what they tell me to do. I turn up at this lot of time. We have these meetings before. We have sort of like, I don't know what you call a strategy meeting about what I'm going to talk about, etc. I do a little bit of research just to make sure I got it right. I very rarely get it 100% right, which is good for the comments anyway. I did a thing about dogs recently, and everybody told me there was loads of beaches you can take dogs to, which I knew, but you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, social media has transformed my business.
In less than a year.
Yes. I don't take any leads from the company. I don't have any listings. I just rely on my old clients, referrals, repeat business, etc., and anything that comes along my way via social media.
Yeah.
So,
and you get more leads on TikTok or Instagram?
Yeah, it's probably actually more on Instagram because there's a lot more people. But I'm bemused by the fact that I've sold property to people who have found me on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought? Well, actually, if you look at the statistics, the age parameters, you wouldn't believe who looks at the ages of people who follow me on TikTok. They're sort of middle age,
Really?
Yeah. There's nobody over 60, of course, but 45 and upwards, there's quite a lot.
Interesting. I would have thought they'd have been on Instagram.
I know everybody thinks the same thing, or Facebook or whatever, or what's the other thing? YouTube. What's that other thing? YouTube. Oh, this.
So just that little old thing, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's extraordinary. And yes, again, I think what Daniel told us right at the beginning is just start and don't worry about it, and you'll find your niche. And there's a very famous YouTuber called Casey Neistat, and he's massive. I think he makes his living just by YouTube. I don't know if it's still. He's probably a multimillionaire. You look at some of his earlier videos; they're terrible.
Yeah.
And I just get going and do it.
Just get started so that you can get as perfect as possible, as quickly as possible.
And all I'd employ, I mean, I don't mind if other real estate agents make idiots themselves because it makes me look better. But, people who are jumping in and out of windows or saying this is the bathroom, this is the lounge, this is the kitchen. I mean, I was going to swear then, but I'm not going to swear. No shit, Sherlock. But, you know what I mean? It's those people. You're not talking to idiots.
That's not the job of a real estate agent.
It's not really, is it? And I think but I've got people who help me, and so I've got strategists, etc., and people who are very talented, and they've worked with some very big names, etc. So and they're not cheap.
And it's an investment in yourself.
Look, if you have your own business, and I think real estate, for all intents and purposes, although you might work for another company, is your own business.
Yeah,
you can
very entrepreneurial.
Work or as hard as you want or as little as you want, etc. It's a very entrepreneurial type of business. And I think if you told any company you've only got to spend 10% of your income on marketing, I think they'd be very happy with that. Do you not think?
Absolutely.
You've run a company, it's 10%.
Yeah. I'm probably spending a bit more.
So I limit myself to about 10% of my income. So anything I earn, I put to one side and said, right, that's for anything that to do with marketing or to do with I'm developing a new website and all this other stuff. Just put it all to one side to do that.
So and that's the thing. I think the new generation of real estate agents are investing in their own PR, their personal brand, marketing themselves, rather than, in the UK, what we're used to is the agency brands promoting themselves. But here, and actually it's emerging in the UK. The self-employed model is starting to grow considerably in the UK. And that is a question of, it's me, I'm representing this brand, but this is what you sign up for. This is my personal
brand. You're going to work with me. Because if you think about it, I mean, look, there are some great developers out there, but there's some really bad developer staff, and there's some really good ones. And it's the same with agents. I'm stating the obvious here, but there's some really good agents out there, some amazing agents, and there's some really bad ones. And it's personal branding. I mean, if just be true and be honest. Yeah. And I think that's why people like me on Instagram. I think because I make it very simple. You're refreshing as well. Yeah, I make it very simple, and I'm very honest about stuff. I'm very happy with the response that I'm getting from my social media, and I mean I wouldn't be sitting here with you if I wasn't on social media. How good is that?
Yeah.
No, I go to events now. I don't go to many events, property events like developers launches and always someone will come up to me and say,
I love your channel.
Really, you're brilliant and well done. And I'm really humbled by it. Honestly, I am. I'm not. I hope I never get full of myself, and I know that Daniel and there's another guy I work with a lot is Tahir Majid here. They're not full of themselves at all. I mean, they might, Daniel's a bit over the top, and stuff, and he's very energetic, etc. But he doesn't care about what people think, and he doesn't. If I went up to him and said, "Oh, Daniel, I think you're brilliant," he'd say, "Oh, thanks very much. You're really kind of you." And I'm the same, and it's like Well, thanks.
Meanwhile, I
don't know what to
love
say.
it. I love it when people tell me I'm brilliant and they're big fans, and so on. I'm like,
No, I don't know. Just I was with Paul Charland at an event. It was Tuesday night, and this guy came up to us and says, "Oh, I watch you both on your podcast. You're both really, really good and everything." And oh, thanks very much. And then he walked away, and Paul and I just
yeah,
well,
like
blokes,
us, yeah.
we're just us.
Yeah.
You know, and we're just we had a good laugh about it. You know, isn't that? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But I mean, Paul doesn't even know how to turn a phone on. You know, so God knows how he does it. No, that's not true. But, yeah, he might know. He gets someone else to do all his stuff.
Socials.
Yeah. Well, I've got Justine. She helps me as well.
Yeah.
My assistant.
Bless
I call
her.
her my assistant. I don't know what she's a trainee real estate agent. She's going to be brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah.
And to wrap up, what is the negative or dark side of social media for you?
I think it doesn't really bother me, but you do get negative responses, and people, you know, like I've
Being
got a
nasty.
dodgy eye, and they talk about, you know, he's got eyes everywhere.
So
et
hold
cetera.
on.
Yeah.
Which one is?
Well, it depends.
So which one? If I'm looking at you, which eye should I look at?
Oh, my right, most of the time.
Okay.
But sometimes it swaps over to my left,
Okay.
so I can swap it over. I'm very clever.
Do you have a preference to which eye you want to be focused on?
Again, I don't
I'm like,
really care.
I never know. I'm like, well,
I
which
look, I
eye
have
should I be
conversations with people. Like, you know, I'm talking to you, and that someone over there will start talking to me and say, "Yeah," and I'm going, "Why are you talking to me?"
Like-
You know, I didn't talk to you, but they think I'm talking to them.
Because just for our audio listeners,
yeah.
he had, what do you call it? Lazy eye?
I've got a lazy eye. Yeah.
Lazy eye. And your lazy eye is
it's
the
a
left
lazy eye
eye.
that I had from when I was a baby. I had an operation. They removed it, and then about 3 years ago, it came back.
Okay.
Because I don't know, because of age or something. They can operate, but I'm too scared.
So it's the left eye that's lazy. So
No, it's weird. If I close my left eye and then if I close my right eye, my left eye will go to work.
interesting.
Look, you see?
Turn it.
It's
Go that
normal.
way. Look that way.
It's normal now.
Yeah.
It's normal.
You see?
Right? It's in the normal place.
Yeah.
And then as soon as
That's nuts.
I know.
Can you look into that camera and just show people? So that
I
camera.
don't know. Just make a big thing of this.
Close. No, we don't have to make a big thing.
There you
If
go.
you don't want to do it. Okay, fine.
I don't
All right.
care. I don't
That's
care. I honestly
nuts.
don't care. I think it's funny. But, you know, negative comments. And do you know the other thing as well? I sort of, I'm not famous, but
Feel
there
like
are
a
people.
celebrity when
There
this
are people
happens.
like, you know, I go to a restaurant and someone comes up to me. Oh, yeah. In fact, someone came up to me in a restaurant recently and said, "Oh, you're the OG." I'm
Oh,
going,
really?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
so
the OG.
that's why you thought it was old go.
Yeah, I thought it was anyway. It's, I think there is a possibility that in my next whatever lives, whenever I go out, I'm going to have to behave myself a little bit better because someone might recognise me from social, and if they, you know, I am in a suit and everything, but obviously I do know how to enjoy myself. I'm not stuffy old guy from a corporate world or anything, but I probably have that persona to some people. I was at Iris at the weekend. Anybody who's been to Iris, you'll know that is it's basically a rave with food. And I was there at the weekend. I mean, I got out of there as quickly as possible, but nevertheless, I was there. And can you imagine if I was big on social media, really big, and I was well known and famous,
The paparazzi
and everybody
are
were
out,
going
yeah.
like,
What's he doing at Iris?
here?
Yeah.
He's 65 years old and he's at Iris on a Saturday brunch.
Good for you.
Yeah. Anyway, no, not good for me.
All right.
Had a sore head the next day as well. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for that. The highs and lows of social media for real estate agents.
There you go.
From the OG, Stephen Leckie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh,
Been fun.
pleasure was mine.